All right, so before maple season ends here, I wanted to touch base with an obscure and unconventional method of tapping maple trees that I once came across. So, my uncle used to be very big in Penn State agriculture. He ran the research farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, for somewhere around 40 years. And when I first started doing maple syrup, he got me a bunch of publications from Penn State that talked about how to drill your holes, put the spiles in, things of that nature. You know, all the things that we've gone through this season to collect the sap and turn it into maple syrup. But there was one article in particular that always stuck out to me. I thought was very cool, and it described a method in which they took and planted saplings, much like this black walnut tree here. Now, I couldn't find a good maple tree to do this with this season, so I'm going to sacrifice this black walnut tree for demonstration purposes. But anyway, what they would do is they would plant bunch of these saplings, maybe 2 to 3 feet apart, so maybe about every so often, and they would let them grow until they got to about an inch in caliper at about head height, chest height. Okay, and when they would get them to this height, they would come in with a pair of pruners, and they would literally knock the top right off of the plant like so. Now, once they had that knocked off of there, they would come in with a device like this. And this is off an old water filter, but you'll get the idea. So basically what it is, it's rubber, and this is made to fit over a faucet, but they would use a cap similar to this. It would have a slightly bigger diameter to it, probably up to about an inch. And what they would do is they would cut the top off of that tree, and then they would pop these collection caps on top of there with lines that then would run into a main line from tree to tree to tree, and then drain into a central collection bin. Um, they what they found was by using little saplings like this, they could produce just as much sap from a tree of this size in one season as they could with your 10 to 12 inch or bigger maple tree that is conventionally looked for. And so it would just collect in here, push up through into a collection line and down through. Now, the advantages of this are you can plant many of these saplings into one small area and potentially have a decent production run on limited space. You don't necessarily need a forest or a farm. You could have a small plot of land with less than an acre of grass that you could you know theoretically plant trees like this and every year come through and clip the tops of them out. Now, after they were done, I would imagine that they would come through, pull those trees out. They probably grew them in a pot and pot system on some experimental level, but they would pull them out, plant new ones, and rejuvenate them because after the top's done, they're just going to grow funny branches from latent buds and such. But I always thought that was kind of fascinating, and I've been looking for the article and in several moves that I've done since then. I don't know where that paperwork ended up, and I'm not really sure. I haven't been able to find it online, so happy hunting looking for it. But I always thought that was kind of a fascinating way that somebody figured out to produce maple sap from a limited space using very small trees. And maybe next year, if I can find a place to source cups like these, we've got walnut trees all over the property here that might be suitable, and maybe we'll give that a try. But yeah, I thought that was a fascinating, you know, unconventional way in which somebody had figured out to collect sap for maple syrup. And so I wanted to pass that along before we got beyond maple syrup season, and I completely forgot about it. But yeah, look it up. Penn State University, they did studies on it. I don't know if the paper's out published out there online anywhere, but happy hunting and thanks for tuning in once again. Have a great day.